Welcome to the OU Women's Basketball Notebook. I'm Jason Ross Jr., joined once again this week by OU Women's Basketball head coach Jeff Tungate. Jeff, how's the afternoon treating you?
Good, Jason. Great to be with you again.
Great to have you back on today's show, Jeff. One thing I want to start off by asking is, today is National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, and I wanted to ask you, what makes you proud to not only be a coach of basketball players, but also someone who has the responsibility to mold the lives of young women?
Well, I think for our players, they're such great role models and they're such great examples to people everywhere. And I think it's really important that we create a culture of giving back. And I think what our players have done is, and that's what's, it's just disappointing not be able to have fans this year, obviously, because I think our players provide a great example for people, not just how to play the game, but how to live your life. And I think that, as we're trying to mentor and bring in the right people in the program and things like that, we want to set up that next generation to be to everything they want to do. And, what's going on in the world today, I mean, you can accomplish anything you want. With Kamala Harris as the vice president and things like, there's so many good things going on right now that our players can aspire to be. And we want to be that example for that younger group too, for them to aspire to be what our players are doing. So I'm really proud of them, not just for who they are as basketball players, but more importantly for who they are as people and who they are as students.
Love that answer, Jeff. And now kind of moving on to the basketball side of things. Last weekend, you're coming off 2 losses to Cleveland State. I talked to your guard, Kalasia Dean, last week, and she told me that she expected a tough defensive battle for them, and they were able to hold Oakland to just under 27% shooting in Saturday's game. So my question for you is, how do you find a way to bounce back offensively this week against Robert Morris?
Well, I thought on Friday we did a good job of moving. We moved the ball, we shared the ball, and we didn't stand, and we knocked down shots. I thought on Saturday when, on that back-to-back, sometimes we have a tendency to stand too much. We don't look to attack, and we missed a lot of shots. And so for us to get back on track, we got to get back that ball movement. We got to get back to the people movement, move players and move that ball, and good things are going to happen. And when we struggle is when we stand. Anytime we move, we're a pretty good offensive team, but where we really struggle is when we stand on the perimeter, pass the ball around, let the shot clock go down, and then look to attack. We got to be in attacking mode right from the start. And so for us to get our offense back on track, it's going to start with getting back to the movement like we had on Friday against Cleveland State. And, again, we struggle when we stand, and we're pretty efficient offensive team when we move. So that's the biggest thing we've got to do this weekend against Robert Morris is move on offense and don't stand.
You touched on the ball movement there. Individually, one of the bright spots offensively last weekend was your guard, Alona Blackwell, who had a career-high 24 points last Friday, then backed that up with 13 points on Saturday. When her game is clicking at a high level, what is she doing?
Well, when she plays with confidence, she's very hard to stop. She can shoot that ball deep with deep range. And then if you come out and take away her 3, she's added this year where she's got the ability to take the ball off the bounce. And so when she starts out and plays with that kind of confidence, it really opens up things for everybody else as well. But you got to pick what you're going to guard. If you want to play the drive, she'll knock down that deep 3. You want to take away that deep 3, she'll put the ball on the floor and drive. And, I think she's getting better at her decision-making around the rim and things like that. So what makes her a tough guard is the fact that not only can she shoot, but she also has the ability to drive. She's not one-dimensional. And I thought, last year she's a little more as a freshman one-dimensional, but this year she's turned herself into a player that's just not one-dimensional and can do a variety of things. And she's a tough matchup. And I really liked how she played this past weekend.
You touched on the ability to get to the rim. She actually has, as of today, she's matched the number of free throws that she took throughout the entirety of last season. So it really goes to show that that's now a part of her mindset. Why do you feel that needed to be a part of her mindset in the offseason?
Well, you can't be, at this level especially, you can't be a one-dimensional player. If you're only a 3-point shooter, then teams are going to take that away. If you only can drive to the basket, if you're a driver, they're going to take that away. And so you've got to be an all-around complete player, and you can't just be one-dimensional to be successful at this level. And so it was really important for her to add that to her game. And I think early on in the year, when she'd catch the ball, she would already have in her mind predetermine what she was going to do, whether she's going to shoot, whether she's going to drive. And the thing that I've noticed her been doing lately is she's not predetermined in her moves. If she catches and she's open, she's going to shoot it. If they come out and close out hard on her, she's going to drive it. And I thought early in the year, trying to get that drive, she would kind of predetermine what she wanted to do. And so she'd a lot of times pass up shots for the drive or pass up a drive for the shot. And now she's starting to get comfortable in that decision making. And I think that shows the strides she's made this year as well.
And then finally for you, Coach, keys to victory against Robert Morris this weekend?
Well, we got to move the ball in offense. I mean, we got to look to play at a high up tempo pace. You know, we got to look to score in transition. We got to look to attack downhill. We got to move the ball and move our players, and that's a big important part. And then obviously defensively, they run a lot of great action. They're really tough to guard. They're a very, very smart team in what they do in the half court offensively, and we've got to make sure we stay disciplined for the entire 30 seconds and be ready to guard them in the half court.
Thank you, Coach. Always appreciate your time and can't wait to watch you this weekend against Robert Morris back at home.
Thanks, Jason.